Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperers Show. Glad you guys are coming at us. We are coming at you hot. We are in the podcast studio over in Yorktown, Virginia. Damien's up in the nice, 25th floor or whatever of the Dominion Tower. So we love technology.
Yes.
So no one wants to drive into Norfolk at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening. So we figured out a way. We got a podcast studio set up so we can come at you live and not have to fight the tunnels. So,
Amen.
Nobody wants to do that. So remember, we are on Facebook Live. You guys, if you get out of the car and want to keep watching the show, jump on the Facebook Live at 757 House Whisperer. Of course, that's 757 House Whisperer Show, or housewhisperer.com. And, of course, the WNIS.com, and, of course, the app that you guys can download. So I want to remind you guys tonight to call in 627-7979. Call in with any questions, any problems with your house. I've got a room full of experts. You cannot stump my experts. Call in, give us tough questions, hard questions, curious questions. Man, this is happening in my house. That's happening in my house. You know, I've got discolored paint. I hear things in my attic when I'm sleeping. You know, I hear this sound in my crawl space.
Yeah, I got a call this week that says, I can hear the termites eating my house. And I'm like, no, you cannot.
So if you hear things while you're sleeping and it sounds like snoring, well, we might not be able to help you with that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get off that subject.
Yeah.
So I get in trouble. And say something that I hear.
What are they going to get if they call in, Chuck?
All right. So we got our gift cards. I'm glad you brought that up. So we have a Coffee Connect over here on the peninsula. We are looking for a coffee company that wants to be a sponsor on our show. I've talked to Black Rifle, but can't seem to really get into the right. I'm trying not to support the franchises. I'd rather kind of smaller.
Where are you looking for that?
On the south side.
I know somebody.
Okay. All right. Well, anybody that wants to call in and give us contact, or if you can call in, reach out to us. You can go to chuckworley.com. You can find me. But 757 House Whisperer, go to our show, go to our Facebook page, or you can find my email on my website. So I'm going to introduce while I'm waiting for people to call in with some great questions about their house. I always like to remind you, this is a public service announcement show. We spend time every single week with you guys to answer your questions. There are a lot of things that I could be doing on a Wednesday night.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that as a team, as a thing, it's kind of, I call myself the founder and host of the show, but all my co-hosts invest the same amount of time on Wednesday nights with me, because we want to give back to our industry. We want to give back to the homeowners that have given our companies so much business and so many blessings. And I feel like it's setting this show up as a public service announcement show where I'm answering questions that you really don't, without calling somebody out there to sell you something. You know, do I believe this guy? Do I not believe this guy? You know, so you're just calling in, you're listening, and we're answering. You know, we're not trying to sell you anything on the show. I ran into a client the other day. He recognized my voice. He's like, man, you sound so familiar. It's kind of creepy, actually. But, you know, anyway, John, hello. Sorry, I called him creepy, you know, but it's, you know, but he recognized my voice. He goes, the reason I like your show is you're not trying to sell us stuff. You're not trying to sell us this or that. He's like, you're actually giving us all this information for free. We have questions. We answer it. Now, of course, that, you know, people do call us and they do want to do business with us because they hear us. They hear us talking about our employees. They hear us talking about how we take care of people in our company. I think people want to do business with people they know.
Right.
Know, like, and trust. Right. And if you're taking care of people and taking care of your employees, people are never going to leave you, right? I always say that our job is to take care of the employees. The employees will take care of the the customers.
Yep.
Right. So, and we all are pretty even with that. We're all self-employed. Nobody works for anybody else. We're all independent contractors, but we've all been friends for no less than 5 years, but some of us almost 40 years.
Well, we have this problem. So nobody can seem to beat it out of us. We want to help.
Right.
It's in our
nature.
system.
Yeah.
We cannot.
It's part of who we are.
We can't not do that. It's like we want to help you. We're here to help you.
We we could all work for free, but we can't.
Yeah. What's that? That was Little Joe's auto, right? That was a plug for him.
Yeah.
But my wife won't let me.
Right.
You know? So let's call in 627-7979. Call in with any questions about your house, from the crawl space to bugs to roofing to siding to windows
Snakes,
to
anything.
heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing. You hear a buzzing in your panel. I'm trying to remind you guys of stuff that you've thought about this week that, oh yeah, I need to call, and you forgot. All right. So, but 627-7979. And remember, when you call in and you ask questions, we are actually helping you, but we're actually helping thousands of other listeners. Right. So we're going to introduce ourselves while we're waiting y'all to call in. I am Chuck Worley. I own Worley's Home Services. We do heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, generators, crawl space encapsulations, geothermal, wells and drills and wells. No,
Drill wells.
we drill wells and pumps. That was the word I was looking for. So I was missing a word. That happens. Is that going to happen more often?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's not getting better.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So these brain farts are going to be more.
Repeat it.
Yeah.
You can repeat it now because I've already forgotten.
One thing we promise you, you might not have a good time in the next 45 minutes, but we will have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Despite it.
we'll have a good time without you. So anyway, I will introduce Michael Davenport. We've been friends for almost 40 years. He owns CPP Windows and Doors, and they have a local manufacturer. They are a local company. And over here in Newport News, they got a
Expanded to
what is that,
Richmond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got
20,
a showroom. It's
15,
it's
20,000
huge. I mean, you could
square foot building.
You can put like 2 football fields. in
that is a
It's huge.
big butt building. So, I can't see anything, Damon. If you're trying to show me something.
We
there it
got
goes.
Sorry.
All right. So Paul go ahead and finish introducing yourselves real quick.
Yeah. So my name's Albin with Albin Co. And we specialize in remodels. We're doing a lot of kitchens right now. And we do baths, and we do additions, and we do new home construction. And I would like to introduce Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He specializes in interior, exterior painting. He'll do small drywall touch-ups on the inside, get it all prepped, ready to go for the paint. He will help you with selections, do your soft wash on the outside. Fantastic guy, fantastic crews.
He does staining too. Staining
Yeah,
on your
he'll
decks.
do. Yeah, he'll do staining on deck and all that, decks and stuff like that. But really, just an amazing guy. That's Jack Keller with Legacy Painting.
And I am Cindy Rao, the only female on the show.
I mean, we need estrogen on the show.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not sure I have enough of that though. I'm just tend to have a little too much testosterone.
You can handle your own.
Yeah, I can.
Handle your own.
So we're a full service termite and moisture company, been in business for 16 years. We do everything from termites to powder post beetles, fungus, rats, mice, snakes, anything that creeps or crawls. I'll go get it for you. If you don't want it, I'll go get it. And we do inspections when people are buying and selling their homes. And we are the company that's going to solve your problem, not put a Band-Aid on it. And that's important.
And you are the only woman in this area
with the license to kill.
All right. So let's go to Paul in Gloucester.
Hello.
Go ahead, Paul.
I just purchased a 2,000 square foot house that was built in 1976 that had electric baseboard heating in it, and we're tearing that out. And I'm debating on what kind of heating and air conditioning to put in. We don't have gas over here. So between a heat pump, mini splits, or geothermal, what's the best way to go cost and efficiency, and compare the three types of heating and air conditioning?
It's a loaded question, but I will get as detailed as I can, only knowing about 2,000 square foot of your house. So right, or the size of your house. So geothermal, by far the most energy efficient way to go. Unfortunately, on the front end, it is the most expensive way to go. So because you got to build the loops and all that in the ground, and they go 200 plus feet deep, and it's just a lot of upfront costs. If you would have to call like shortly if you want to get that done before the end of the year. As many things as I liked about the Big Beautiful Bill, the one thing I did not like about it was it took away solar and geothermal. So it has to be installed, and it takes a month to get a permit for geothermal. So, I promise you there's going to be somebody that calls me on December 27th. Hey, I want a geo. Well, that's too bad because that's not going to happen. So if you are thinking about geothermal, please make the phone call to now. So some of you guys know Jake Gildersleeve. He works for us now. We bought his Gildersleeve geothermal, him, his dad, his uncle, everybody, I think, in that whole family started the geothermal industry in Hampton Roads. So we now, with his company and my company combined, we are I don't know of another company that does more geothermal than we do. So but yeah, great choice if you got the money up front to do it. There is a 30% tax credit. So if, and I'm just using round numbers because I'm horrible at math. On 10,000, it's $3,000 tax credit, and it's a tax credit, not a tax write-off. And the difference is it's cash basically. So 100,000, you get 30 back, right? 30,000 back. So it's 10,000, 3,000. So great decision. The next, and you said you are in Gloucester, so you don't have gas. That's not necessarily true. You do have propane option. I wouldn't do propane by itself. I would do propane because I like to be warm. Although I'm chubby, so I stay pretty warm myself. But what was I going to say? Propane heat is the warmest heat out there compared to a heat pump when it gets down into the teens. And these heat pumps are extremely efficient now. They produce, up to 80 or 90% of their full capacity, all the way down to like 17 degrees, which, we may have a day or two like that cold, but it's not going to be consistent or for a long time, right? So a heat pump is a great option. Another type of heat pump you mentioned already, which I would have mentioned, is mini splits. So mini splits, you can get an air conditioning as well as heat pump. If you can get your wife to be okay with the aesthetics of the air handler on the wall, we just put in a 5-head mini split. I spray foamed my house and sealed up my house. If you listened to the show before, Alvin helped me do the remodel. So the heating and air, of course we did. We put in a 5-head mini split, which basically means the air handler in each bedroom. So the kitchen has one, or kitchen dining room area has one. My main den has one. It's only 1,500 square foot. So and we have three rooms, right?
And
so,
only one outside condenser?
Yeah, you can do it with one outside or two. I ended up going two because if one goes down, I want to be able to have some kind of air conditioning.
So one thing to think about you asked a very good question about what's the most efficient. Well, the thing is, if you want me to come down, it might be a little bit loud, so he's got me turning. He's just getting some hand signals here, so we're good now. So, if you want the most efficient unit, but you keep your front door open, you're going to be like throwing the money out the door, literally. So you always hear that, close the door, you're letting the air out.
Mom.
So, so I say all that to say you can be really efficient, but your house could actually have enough holes in it that it's big enough for the front door. I was just doing some simple math just for kicks and giggles here. The front door equates to 10 2-square-inch holes in your house. So if you have 10 holes in your house that are 2 square inches in size, you have a front door open.
So if you put all, I think what you're trying to say is you put all those in one area of your house, like the
it'd
front
be
door.
the size of a front door.
Yeah. So if you take all those little small, tiny holes, put them in one location, it could be as big as a window or big as a door.
So yeah, you could
Which is why I
have the
spray
most
foamed. Yeah.
efficient. You could have the most efficient unit, but have all those little holes add up to a front door, and you might as well just spend the money on the holes first. So when you're talking about efficiency, you should consider: is my house airtight? Do I have enough insulation? Are my windows really leaky? So there's a lot of things that go into when you say efficient. It's the whole system.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to put all new windows in from CVP. So
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Well,
Awesome.
then they're efficient.
Great job.
Then they're definitely efficient. And I tell people all the time, glass doesn't leak.
Right.
It's the installation that leaks,
Mhm.
right? If you don't
Yeah.
install them wrong, that's where the leaks come from. Glass is not leaking.
But
not
yeah,
typically.
so you want to make sure you get a thorough investigation of the house. Make sure that all the holes for where all the electrical lines, plumbing lines come through, any vent duct work, any chases going to a second floor to the attic, all are properly sealed. Otherwise, you're losing efficiency in that part of the house too.
And that nothing is eating your house,
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah.
because I see that way too much.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
No
great
kidding.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
it really
uh,
was.
Yeah.
we were going to
That was
blow
a
in
big
some extra insulation in the attic once we get
yeah.
done.
Well, don't. So great comment. The insulation is not important. The stopping the infiltration is important.
Yeah, that's that
So-
all that stuff we just talked
So
about.
sucking
Air
out. So what I
infiltration.
would do is, because you don't know 1976, you don't know what's alive or dead in that insulation, and has been for 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
you don't
So-
want to know.
Well, Cindy probably knows.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she may
does.
have been to that house, 1976. So I personally, what I did at my house was I sucked all the insulation out, then spray foamed, sealed all the joints. And I'm talking around ceiling fans. I'm talking about recessed can lights. I'm talking about pull down staircase, seal around that, and then blow in the R30 cellulose. I have seen some idiot contractors just blow in cellulose all on top of the bat insulation, the other insulation on top, and it's just a waste of money. More insulation doesn't stop infiltration. So we do that too. We do spray foam, we do insulation, all that stuff. So
What
I would
did
say
that cost
before
you
you
to do
spend-
that in your house?
say again.
What did that cost to do that in your house?
Yeah, I don't know the answer off the top of my head.
it's
I
free
mean,
for him.
Yeah, I mean it's
Just
I
no.
wish my guys were free. They
Yeah,
they
right.
charge me too.
Yeah.
So but no, so we would kind of do an assessment before you spend money, because you gotta, if you don't insulate it properly, then the R value is not going to be right, and then the size of the air conditioner is going to be bigger. So whatever it costs, it's going to save you money doing that. I guess Dad said it, measure twice, cut once.
Yep.
I learned that at the shipyard.
Yep.
So if you are going to do it in stages and say, all right,
right.
this year I'm going to insulate, or this year I'm going to put the air conditioning in, but I don't want to oversize the air conditioner because I'm definitely going to insulate better. So just we could kind of give you a free estimate just to kind of look at everything, and then you can do it in stages. You can do it all at the same time. We have finance and stuff like that, but we don't want to do it twice, right,
Right.
Paul? We want to do it
Yeah.
once. So, and I've had people call me 5 years, 10 years later and say, you know what, this air conditioner is keeping up, everything's fine, but I know that I need to, go back and finish and insulate. So, but we got a hard break coming up, but thank you. That's a great
Yeah, it
question,
was.
and we can definitely follow up with you.
Just quickly, what's the difference in percentage and price between the heat pump and the mini splits and the geothermal? Ballpark.
The geothermal is probably 30 to 40% over both of them. And then
Okay.
with the mini splits, because of the high efficiency stuff, those can be a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to put ductwork in. So it's kind of a wash when you do that. So,
Okay.
and like I
So
said,
there's
I'm not
ductwork in for air
How many
conditioning, but
heads?
I don't know if it needs to be redone or not. So
okay. Yeah. Well, we might be able to save it. We might be able to duct clean it, duct seal it. We might be able to save that. That would be great. That would be great. So, but I'll definitely call and follow up with you. I'm coming up on a hard break on that half hour. Thank you, sir, for calling in. We do appreciate it. We'll send you a gift card for our coffee house.
thank you.
And just, you want to tell Curry, is it Curry in Virginia Beach? We'll be with you right after hard break. Please hold on. And then remember 627-7979, call in. Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperers Show, coming to you every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Put us on your schedule so you remember to listen in, tune in. Every week, we will be here to serve you guys and to answer questions about your house. We've got a bunch of calls calling in, so we're going to introduce ourselves real quick. We're going to go around the horn real quick and then get to our callers. We've got 3 or 4 callers to get to. This is Chuck Worley. I own Worley's Home Services. We do heating and air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, ductwork, mini splits, geothermal, pretty much anything heating and air, pumps, wells, generators. There's not much we
Encapsulate
don't
crawl
do.
spaces.
We do encapsulate crawl spaces. You do like those. Yes. Yeah. She prefers them because they have a light switch at the door. So
Usually clean too.
yeah, and they're very clean. Yeah. So Michael Davenport with CVP Custom Windows and Doors. And then go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Alvin with Alvin Co. We specialize in remodels, kitchens, baths, additions, renovations, that kind of stuff. And then I would like to introduce Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He specializes in interior, exterior paints, whether that's oil, latex, or you need some drywall touch-up or stain on the deck, he can take care of you.
And I am Cindy Rao, owner-operator of Alpha Pest Solutions, full-service termite and moisture company, serving the area from Richmond down to the Carolina border, out past Petersburg, past Saluda.
All right, so we got Curry in Virginia Beach. Let's go to Curry.
Hey, yes, sir.
How you doing? Thanks for holding on through the break. Yeah, and
Of course. Yeah, I just had a question that actually kind of ties in with the last caller. I was wondering what your methodology for a manual J or heat load calculation is these days. Is there like an app for that, or is that something that you guys manually measure everything, or how's that work?
That's a great question. I'm very impressed that you knew the words manual J, because I have people in my industry that don't know how to spell J. Not even manual. They just can't even spell J. They're like, we'll just put a duck here and a duck here and a duck here, and we'll put 2 ducks in here. So yes, manual J load calculation is it has been around for a long time, since the mechanical engineering degree was made at colleges, right? So mechanical engineering is normally a commercial usage word. People have heard of mechanical engineers. In the residential, we don't have a lot of use for mechanical engineers because it's not that complicated, but there is a science to a house, which I call myself a building science geek. And there is so much to be known about a manual J load calculation. Somebody that installs ductwork or putting in a new system like my man in Gloucester that is, has nothing but baseboard heat. You have to come in and do what's called a room-by-room load calculation, which figures out the R value of the insulation in the wall. In 1976, it would probably be R11. Before that, could be as low as 0. We'll figure out, I think he said something about new windows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had new windows. So we'd figure out what kind of windows it are. Is it low E? Is it reflective glass? Is it thermal insulated panes? Is it wood panes? Is it, so it really dials in. As far as an app, I'm sure some smart 20-year-old figured out an app on how to do it. I don't use that. We use we use RightSoft, which in 2001, when I opened up my first company, that was the first purchase that I made. And most of my guys that I worked for, which is why I did this, pretty much just kind of went by the seat of their pants. And, hey, you got a 10 by 10 room, that's 1 duck, 20 by 10 room, that's 2 ducks. I'm like, there's a science to this. There's more to it than that. So figuring out our values of insulation, how many inches of insulation in the attic, whether it's R6, R3, R30.
Well, you also have to combat every turn is going to create some friction on the air in the duct. So I'm sure that when you're entering that into manual J and you put all your turns in there, as that air's moving through there, it's
so we have what's called
the
static. Well, it's called static pressure is actually the exact word, but definitely a great point. Making sure the static pressure is right on the duct system, and because if you don't have any pressure, then you don't have any airflow, and if it's too big, it's not going to get any airflow.
And
if it's too small, sounds like a 747
right?
coming through your house. Yeah, right. So there's a lot to it, man. That's a great question. Most people don't realize there is a science to the heating and air conditioning industry. We've got a lot of twists and turns coming down the pike. I say our company is big enough that, I'm looking at 30,000 feet looking down on our industry. We have had a Freon shortage that we've been talking about the last couple months. I knew about that 6 months ago. It's a lot of guys are in business for themselves. They're just looking out the windshield. They don't even realize there's a Freon shortage. So it's good that, we have we're in the field where, I got my text looking through windshields and, on the crates, but we're kind of looking, I'm on the, I have been the president of ACO, which is Air Conditioning Contractors of America. I'm on the qualified QGC board, Qualified Gas Contractors board. It is important to really be looking down the pike. I just spent an hour on a call that had the president of Carrier, the president of Trane, the president of American Standard, the president of Ream. There's everybody on the call except for me and whoever else was on the call, contractor-wise. They had $1 million paychecks. They were all CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies, right? Not billion, but $1 million companies.
Probably is $1 billion.
And I'm listening to, hey, we got this coming up, that coming up. There's so many things about our trade that especially over the last 12 months has been changing. But what doesn't change is the science on a house and load calculations. So, Curry, we got a couple more calls. That was a great question. You've helped me educate, not just you, but a whole bunch of thousands of other listeners in Hampton Roads. Do not let anybody touch your house, which is probably why Curry called in. Do not let anybody touch your house when they're replacing ductwork or putting a new system in that they do not do a room by room load calculation. After we sell a job, I have our more technical technicians come in and they literally physically measure every single room. I mean, we spend a whole day doing a CAD design, duct renovation. Like, we know, is it 5-inch, 6-inch duct? Not, is it 3-inch or 4-inch duct? It's not, we're just giving everybody 6-inch duct in every single room. There's a science. Sometimes we'll go into rooms and they got 2 8-inch ducts going into it, because the room's so big.
Absolutely.
It's a science, man. And we go behind people all the time. Hey, I just had this system installed and this room is not comfortable. I got 3-4 vents in there and they're all 4-inch or 5-inch vents. I'm like, it's because the vents aren't the right size. They just kind of, whatever they had on the back of the truck, they put into the house, and it's just wrong. So, but thank you for the call. Let me jump to Sydney in Norfolk. Go ahead, Sydney in Norfolk.
Hi, I was calling because my husband and I just purchased a home, and we are considering switching our old water heater to a tankless water heater, but we're trying to understand the pros of making the switch and if it's worth the investment.
That is a fantastic question. Thank you, Miss Sydney. You have an electric water heater now?
Yes, and it's about 21 years old.
That
Wow.
is
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's from the termite person.
Yep.
When the termite person goes, wow,
Wow.
that's an old water heater,
Yep.
you know you got an old water heater. So I was joking a customer the other day. I was talking, and he's like, what's the oldest water heater you ever seen? I said, do you remember the pink ones or the blue ones?
Yep.
There were Sears and Roebuck,
Yep.
like 1960s and 70s. I don't
Before
see
you were
those
born.
any. Yeah, I don't.
Before you were born,
Oh
I
yeah,
was there.
yeah, exactly. That's in the 1960s. These pink and green, I think,
That's
blue.
that's back when the hippies and all.
Yeah,
of the
that's
love
back when Sears and
happiness
Roebuck was a real company. So,
Yeah.
but no. So back to your question, the electrical is, I mean, an electrical water heater is a fine water heater. It's a great water heater. It's going to heat your water, but obviously heating water with gas. I always kind of use a stove as an example. If you have gas heat, it's going to heat faster, right? So when you're heating water, in my humble but totally accurate opinion, using gas to heat water is a faster recovery. It just warms the water up faster. I love tankless water heaters. I have one on my house.
I do
too.
I-
Me too.
Yeah,
Which you put
everybody
in.
has one. That's
Yep.
right. So tankless water heaters are great, especially if you don't have room. One of the benefits of my personal house was I had a pantry in the middle of my kitchen, and I moved my electric water heater out of there, and so now I had a pantry. And this is, gosh, probably 15 years ago, and I put it on the side of the outside of my house. So I gained all this room in my closet. And my pantry, actually, I could put food in it, because there's room.
Yeah.
And but the tankless on the outside of the house, it is more efficient, because if you go out of town for 2 weeks, right now you're heating water with electricity.
With
You're
a-
heating
with
water
a
24 hours.
21-year-old
Yeah, with a
water
21-year-old.
heater.
Yeah. So there may be somebody in the inside of that thing rubbing sticks together to get that
Maybe.
thing done. So putting it on the outside of the house gives you room. The tankless going to gas is a lot more efficient. If right now, when you go out of town for 2 weeks, your electric water heater, nobody cuts it off.
Right.
Everybody forgets. They don't cut it off. So they leave it on. So you're heating water for 2 weeks, right? With a tankless, if it's not on, it's not running. You're not wasting gas. I went to mini splits, as I told the last caller. I went to mini splits on my house, so I have nothing but gas, tankless water heater, and my gas stove. Right. My bill's like $20 a month. Like it's nothing.
Sydney,
Like
do you have gas at the house, Cindy?
I do have gas. Our stove is a gas stove.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think that's a great option. Back to your question though, you were asking what's the pros and cons. Well, one, again, going over those pros and cons. One is again, like Chuck said, you don't have to heat water and keep it hot. It just instantly heats the water and sends it through
as
the
you
pipes.
use it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
not going to be
Quicker,
instant
yeah.
at the spigot, but it'll be instantly heating the water as you're using it. Still needs to travel to the faucet, the fixture. So the placement of that's going to be important.
And you will never run out of hot water. You could
Yeah.
literally leave it on, go to the store, come
So,
back, and hot water is
If
still
you
coming
like
out.
showers, or everybody in the house likes showers, they can have them as frequently as they want to. Because I mean, it just will keep producing hot
Yep.
water, which is a wonderful thing. And then when it's off. It's quiet. You're not hearing it. They last a long time. Very little maintenance to them. A little more upfront cost than just a tanked water heater, or just a standard water heater. So I don't know. What are the other pros and cons, Chuck? Do you think?
I think space is a big one.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
efficiency is a big one. You go out of town, it's
They're not going to
cheaper.
burst and put water all over your house.
Well, there is that. Yes.
I mean, you
Yes.
got one of these great big tanks. With
Yeah.
100
So
gallons
the
of water all over
tankless
there.
basically has a 1 gallon tank in it. So even if it did burst, which it doesn't, it's not going to leak all over your house,
Right.
especially if we put it on the outside of your house.
I wonder how many
Mine's in the
times
garage.
the what do you call those things? Is the heater element, I guess.
Yeah.
How many times it got changed in that 21-year-old
Yeah, that's.
So,
I mean,
you
it's
don't
been a
have to-
while
you
since
don't
I've
have
seen
to-
one over 20.
Yeah,
That-
you
that's
don't
been a
have to
while.
change the elements in a tankless. So
You do not.
But yeah,
You
so
do not.
that would be it.
I
would
think
just
it's
say,
efficiency,
You know,
a
if you got the
space.
money to do it, I would say
Durability.
spring for it.
Mhm.
You will never look back and regret it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you'll never regret not running out of hot water. Because I mean, with a 50-gallon electric water heater, if you have 3 people in the house, not all 3 people are getting.
Not unless they wait for hours.
let's just
Yeah.
say this: gone will be the days of you saying, "Okay, I need to get to the shower first.
Right,
Or
before
hot
my
water.
husband-
I can steal all the hot water." You won't be saying that because you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I can sleep in. I don't care how many people take."
Yeah,
a
it's the
shower."
truth.
Because it really changes your life in that regards. You stop thinking about,
Hot
oh,
water.
I got to be the first to the shower, and then I have to be sensitive to everybody else by taking a quick shower.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then the 50-gallon water heater, like I said, 3 people are not taking
No.
Yeah.
a shower in a row. You
No.
gotta there's a time factor to let the water heat back up.
Yep.
But
Give it an hour.
But that was a fantastic
Yeah, good
question. I
question.
appreciate the question. We got one more caller on the line, so we only got about 5 minutes left. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you called, Miss Sydney. Charles in Portsmouth.
Well, hello there. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I'll try to make this real quick. I'm a first-time homeowner. Just bought my home not too long ago. After being in it for about
Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
about a month. Thank you so much. After being in it for about a month or so, everything backed up. The bathtub, the laundry room, and to make this quick, I didn't know what to do. I went outside and tried to clean the trap out next to the house, and it still did it. So I called the city, and I wasn't home when the city came. They left a message on the door, and this message, and I want to read this to you so you can help me out. It says, "Stoppage clear in city lateral." So my question now is, who's responsible for the lateral in a home?
Well, all the way to the road is going to be your responsibility. So the city's not going to take care of anything from.
So it sounds like the city cleared their side, which probably caused your problem. So they're responsible for clearing their side of the city. So where the meter is at the end of your driveway or the end of your road, wherever your property line is, where it goes into the public road, you are responsible from that street up to your house. So let's say because we have people with big oak trees in the front yard or big
Mhm.
trees in the front
Weeping
yard, and
willows.
you got cast iron
Mhm.
piping, and the roots will grow
Yep.
into those pipes and burst those pipes
Mhm.
or bust into the sides of those pipes, right? So you would be responsible for hiring a company like us to cut a trench, and then run new PVC from the house to the meter base or to the base or lateral at the street at the end of your driveway, for lack of a term.
You've only been in the house for
Okay,
1 month.
and if I may, real quick, after they did this here, the note they left on the door was, "The cause of your issue is dirt in your lateral. You may want to find a way to cover your cleanout. Otherwise, the issue will repeat sometimes in the future." So they
Oh, that's
did that. So
Okay,
Maybe
good for you then. Yeah, so you don't have the
may not
problem
have a lid
anymore.
on your clean out then.
no,
You don't have the
I
problem
don't have the
anymore?
problem
Okay.
no more. I was just trying to
So it
understand.
sounds like it was.
And I,
It sounds like it was on their side, so that saves you money, right? So that's good. But if it happens again, you call them first. If they come out and it's not them, then it could be an expense onto you.
It shouldn't be a
Okay,
regular
but-
occurrence.
but
Let's
the
pray
lateral
not.
is
Yeah.
on both sides, the city side as well as the homeowner side. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, so you're responsible for your side, they're responsible for theirs. And we have people all the
Okay.
time that call us and back up. We're like, there's certain situations. If you got stuff coming in your, house, it could be on their side, and that doesn't cost you a thing because it's their responsibility.
It's the same responsibility for your water too. So where your meter is out by the road, where it runs up your meter for the fresh water that's coming to your house, anything beyond that's your responsibility.
So, yeah, but thank you for the call. That's a great question. You definitely you are not the first person to have this issue. So
stay tuned next week. We'd like to talk a little bit more about new home ownership. I think there's some good questions we could have about that.
I think the last 2 callers were new homeowners.
Yeah.
So
we need to hit on that a little bit more.
It's a big deal.
There's a lot of new educational stuff you need to know about taking.
I know we might have to get a realtor on here to kind of give us some stuff. So. We'll have to, any realtors interested in jumping on the show and helping us with help new homeowners. That might be a great option as a co-host. So let's go to Larry. Thank you again, Charles, and congratulations on the house. All right,
yes,
Mr.
sir.
Larry.
Yes, sir. Do y'all do French trenches?
French drain?
So that would be, if you're talking about like an exposed French drain, are you looking for a French drain that's covered? Which one are you looking for? I mean, either way.
French drain that's covered.
We definitely have a relationship. I can refer to you. And you're talking on the outside of the house?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it?
You have some water issues.
Yeah. What's the water? Yeah. What's the water issue?
Well, there was a French trench drain in there 20 years ago. I think it's collapsed because that side of the house stays moist, and you can see where the pipe empties into the ditch, and there's very, very little water ever coming out of that pipe.
Yeah, that happens. I went to a house down on Chesapeake Avenue down in Hampton, and they're right on the water there. Across the street is water, and he had a terracotta pipe going through his yard that kept backing up, and we had to run we have a machine like a
ditch witch.
No, it's it's on the tip of my tongue. It blows out the water. It's like a high pressure
pressure washer.
Yeah, it's a high pressure washer, but it's a pressure washer on steroids. But anyway, it's blows out the drains and stuff. So we had to do that for him because they kept backing up. And eventually we found that they had actually collapsed. So he ended up having to replace it. So we have, but yeah, I'll have somebody give you a call and we could definitely do that for you.
Okay.
All right. We got about a minute left. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody around the show, and then we will see you guys next week. I am Chuck Worley of Worley's Home Services, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, crawl space, spray foam insulation. Michael Davenport is our other co-host at CVP Custom Windows and Doors. And then y'all go ahead. And
Albin with Albin Co., specializing in anything that has to do with construction. And then I have Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He is your paint guy.
And I'm Cindy Rao, owner operator of Alpha Pest Solutions, your full service termite and moisture company, who has the only woman around that has a license to kill.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you listening to our show. We had a great call. We had 6 callers call in. We are grateful for y'all calling in because we're not only helping you, we are helping your neighbors. Thank you. Have a great week.
The preceding program was sponsored and paid for by Worley Home Services, who's entirely responsible for its content.